National Prosecuting Authority says it plans to provisionally withdraw charges against those implicated in the Estina Dairy Farm project probe next month. Officials say they are struggling to get information from the United Arab Emirates and India. The NPA says it's written to lawyers for the Gupta family, informing them of this development. The authority had until Friday this week to hand over the finalized docket in the case. For more on this, we are joined now by Paladi Shuping from the National Prosecuting Authority. Paladi, thank you so much for joining us. First, it was the issue to do with the assets forfeiture unit and the devastating order, basically, that cancelled the forfeiture and preservation of the assets of the Guptas in that case. And now you're having to provisionally withdraw the charges against those that you've charged in that case. Some would say things are not going well for you in this particular case. You don't seem to have your ducks in a row.
Yeah, but Julius, the one thing that we want to make people aware is that this case relies more on evidence that is not within our jurisdiction. Like it stated in the letter that was written to the defense lawyers, that we have requested information from the two countries that you talked about, which is the United Arab Emirates and India. But unfortunately, there has been some delays in requesting that information. So the challenge that we had was that we had up until the 30th of November, which is this coming Friday, to provide the defense with the indictment. So at the moment, due to that outstanding evidence that we are saying is very crucial to our case, we are not in a position to finalize the indictment. Hence, we've made a decision that we're going to withdraw the matter next week when the matter appears before the court, so that we can have time with the investigating team to ensure that we get all the outstanding information. Then as soon as that information is made available, the NPA can reconsider the decision.
Right. So talk to me a bit about this evidence then, because it appears to be crucial to you finalizing the indictment, which you were meant to then avail to the defense team in this matter. What kind of evidence is this, without, of course, going into the merits and the nitty-gritty of what exactly it is that you're looking for? But if it lies in other jurisdictions, such as the UAE and India, what is this evidence that's so crucial?
Well, unfortunately, we are not in a position to tell what kind of evidence are we looking for, because we will definitely be giving away our case. But it's the kind of evidence that we think is very crucial for us to proceed in the way that we want to in this matter. So we don't, and the challenge that we have is that we want to ensure that whatever evidence that we get outside our jurisdiction, we get it by legal means, so that we should not bypass any process to get evidence, because the challenge that we'll have if we do that is that some of this information will be declared inadmissible, which is not something that we want to see happening.
Broadly, is it evidence to do with financial flows?
Remember, we are investigating, how should I say, commercial crime. So there's definitely where there's money somewhere, somehow, where there is a paper trail of the money that we think was deposited in countries outside South Africa.
Is the recently concluded, sort of agreements between countries, between South Africa and the United Arab Emirates, is that of any help to you? Recently there were these processes that ended up with Parliament ratifying those agreements to be able to render mutual assistance in investigations, including issues to do with extradition, for example. Is that of any help? Forget the extradition part, because perhaps well, unless you want to tell me that it's part of what you're looking for in this particular case?
No, what I can say is that, remember, there was this mutual legal assistance agreement that we have with those countries. So it's a process that will assist us in getting information that is not within our jurisdiction. So Yes, that was finalized by the Parliament, and I think from now on it will make the process going forward much easier. But like I said to you, there's still those delays somewhere, because understand that some countries work differently from South Africa, so there's a very long process that we have to follow in terms of getting information that is outside our countries.
Right, Paladi, you're a prosecutions authority and you speak on matters of prosecution, but you personally are also a communicator, well, in the role that you fulfill in the NPA. Address that perception that I started off with, that says to a casual observer watching this, we've been told that, hundreds of millions of rand meant to benefit upcoming farmers in Frede, in the Free State, were basically channeled to various Gupta-linked companies, and there's been all these articles and the leaks that have happened. But now it seems that the people who can actually do something about this situation don't seem to have a solid case, would be one of the narratives that would be out there that says, basically, you have nothing on the Guptas. You had to reverse the forfeiture of their assets, and now you're having to drop the case. The perception, address it.
No, I think that perception will be totally incorrect. Look, like we are saying, yes, maybe there's money that was used in South Africa, but that ended up in countries outside our borders. So, like I'm saying, the process that we have in terms of getting that evidence, it's not like if this matter was relating only to South Africa, where evidence that we wanted to have is evidence that was within the borders of South Africa, which will be much more easier for us to get that information. We working with law enforcement agencies in other countries which work completely different from South Africa. So there are challenges that we have to go through when we try to get information, which is the reason why there has been some delays in the process of getting the evidence that we think is very crucial for our case and that we are saying is not within our jurisdiction.
Level with us, Paladi. Is this the end of the case for you? I mean, we've seen this in a number of other cases where it's either provisionally withdrawn or struck off the roll, and that becomes the end of the matter. Case in point, the case Julius Malema was facing in Limpopo. I mean, it was struck off the roll, and that was the end of it. As the NPA, can you tell us, is this the end of the matter for you? Level with us. Let us know if it is.
I would not say that because, like we are saying to the public, we are withdrawing the matter provisionally. Provisionally simply means once the evidence that we think is not available at the moment becomes available, the NPA will be in a position to reconsider the decision to withdraw it. So it depends on the information. Once we get that information, then we can reconsider the decision to withdraw it and put the matter back on the court roll.
Do you remain, as a final question, do you remain convinced that a crime was committed or perhaps crimes were committed that deserve to be prosecuted in this case?
Definitely, we would have not arrested, the police would have not arrested on sometime on the 16th of February. And I don't think the last time the matter was in court on the 16th, the NPA could have argued for a postponement. It's just that some of the information that we are looking for is becoming difficult to get. But we are adamant that once that evidence has been provided to us, we'll be in a position to put the matter back on the court roll.
All right, thank you so much. That is Paladi Shuping of the National Prosecuting Authority speaking to us there, updating us on that breaking story that we are reporting, that the NPA will provisionally withdraw the charges in that matter to do with the Estina Dairy project in the Free State. So that is the news coming from the National Prosecuting Authority.